How's everyone feeling? Dave, you feeling good?
I am fired up and ready to go.
Right on, right on. All right. Well, I know some people are still filtering in. So today, this is my first live cast. So I just want to, sort of share with everybody, right? Like we got to get a little comfortable being uncomfortable. So, it's Monday. I've always had podcast on my roadmap, and here we are, New Year's resolution, started the new year. And I literally called Katrina and I said, all right, fuck it, let's do it. So we marked it for Friday. I called Dave and said, hey, man, do you want to be my first guest? He said, hell yeah. So it's an accountability marker. And this is being, comfortable getting uncomfortable. So, listen, this is off the cuffs. I mean, I'm going to guide a conversation with Dave here. We're going to talk about the 3 steps necessary to help optimize, in 2024. But rather than me just presenting a PowerPoint in the form of like a keynote, like I did a month ago, which is also great, I want this to be fun and engaging, conversational. So with everybody, in the audience too, like add comments, talk along with us, give us some feedback as we go. I know obviously a lot of you on here, we know each other, Dave, Katrina, and whatnot. So this is all meant for us. This is our community. And, for all of you who know, obviously, as I've launched my business and now, I'm into the now momentum phase of my business, this is exciting. So these are big milestones and I'm super excited. So anyway, all right. You guys ready?
I'm ready. Let's
All right,
go.
let's go.
Actually, everybody, one last little housekeeping thing. Those little reactions, let Craig know how you feel. Use those throughout the call. And then I am curious where everybody is from. And I also want to make sure everybody knows how to use that little chat feature. Where are you at? I'm in Newport Beach. And if you want to let us know who you want to have win, play, wild card weekend. Fortunately, we don't have to watch one of our favorite teams play this weekend, Craig. We have a bye, so go Niners next week. But who do you want to win, and where are you at? Go Phillies. That's right, Steve. I knew you were going to say that.
By the way, this is such a good year for the Niners against Philly. I'm so happy because I was not happy about this last year.
not yeah. Now the birds did not close the year strong,
No, no. But hey, we've been there too.
but
So
they're still in the hunt. You never know
oh, yeah.
where
You
that's going to
can't you
go.
can't rule them out. Absolutely.
No, for
Yeah.
sure.
Nice. We got some Anchorage in there. Awesome. I love it. I saw some bands. Fantastic. Yeah.
Sacramento,
Tracy, good.
Anchorage,
Tracy, you're going to be in my master class. So if you haven't registered yet, register.
Iowa.
Right on. Yeah, Vancouver. Well, cool. So, everybody on here, I think everybody knows who Dave is, but, just as a quick introduction, I know Dave, I think we've known each other maybe 15 years, I think going back to
Yeah.
early Pinnacle days, if not. And, and I just want to say, I mean, Dave Savage has been not just a friend and mentor to me, but a friend and mentor to so many, within the industry and a mentor to the industry. So, Dave is the chief innovation officer for Trust Engine, the original founder of Mortgage Coach. And, Dave, not only, have you delivered such a critically important technology into our community and, to our borrower community and our loan officers, it's more than that. And you've been a thought leader. And I would venture to say one of the best thought leaders of our industry and beyond. And that's so important. And you have interviewed and met with more elite and players within our business than anybody, including on the national stage, I think, in any industry. So I appreciate everything you've done for this business. Your commitment goes beyond, dare I say, obsession. And I appreciate everything you do for our business. I appreciate, your friendship and your mentorship with me as well. So I just want to let everybody
Well,
know he's a pretty important guy.
well, hey, I have loved our friendship, and you are an industry change agent yourself, and love the friendship and the collaboration we do together, man. So thanks for those nice words.
Awesome. Right on. Okay, cool. So listen, like we said, we're going to talk about the 3 steps optimizing 2024. So, and let me just frame it like this, right? Well, I think we all generally know that New Year's resolutions don't typically last, right? Now, Dave, did you do New Year's resolutions this year?
I did goal
Yeah.
setting and goals, and I did come up with two words that are my theme of the year. And then I did update my 5-year life plan that I started in 2020 and kind of like updated how I hope 2020, what I'm saying to myself at the end of 2025, but I did not do resolutions.
Cool. Well, all right, we're going to come back to your words here in a second. Now, I did do resolutions and I know they don't work, right? But we're going to talk about how to make them work. And here's this is why your New Year's resolutions don't work. And this is also why your goal planning may not work, or that one-time business plan you do in December to satisfy your boss that you never look at again doesn't always work, or managing through change, or whatever the case is. And the reason why is because it's built on motivation. Now, we need to be motivated. And I was listening the other day to somebody, a thought leader, and they're like, okay, we have to stay motivated. And I think fundamentally that's actually wrong. You can't just stay motivated. And the reason why is because motivation lives on emotion, feelings. It's like your happiness is a feeling, but you don't just live in this state of, happiness at all times. It would be nice, but we'd probably be on drugs or be crazy. So instead of staying motivated, we have to remotivate, right? It's about remotivation. And how do we remotivate? Now, look, that's morning routines, right? We get up and go to the gym, or we have our morning routine, whatever the case is, that's actually a form of remotivation. And so the way that we make and think about going, with our New Year's resolutions, we need to go from motivation to momentum. See, momentum's built on actions. Momentum's built on a plan. Momentum is built on a framework that we're going to talk about here. All right. So that makes sense to everybody? We need to go towards momentum. So the first thing that I think about in my momentum framework is, and to frame it, with New Year's resolutions, but even with your goal planning, is put a theme to it, right? We have to establish our identity to the desired result that we want, right? If I want to lose 20 pounds or be healthy, or I want to be a mortgage coach, or I want to, whatever the goal is, you establish your identity. I am that person. I am that result. From a New Year's resolution standpoint, what's your theme? What's your 2 words or 1 word or whatever the case is? Mine is, I'm going to keep innovating through perseverance. That's why I'm doing this call right now. This is persevering. And this call will look differently, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now. I don't know. I will keep innovating because innovation happens through perseverance. So that's my theme, innovating through perseverance. Dave, you want to share what yours is?
Yeah. So I interviewed Jeremy Forcier closing the year. But by the way, incredible interview. It's been watched over 1,000 times. And he told me his 2 words for the year were obsessed and impact. And I immediately gravitated like, bro, I'm stealing that. Those are going to be my 2 words in 2024. I did put a kind of a word in between the 2, which is obsessed with impact. And the kind of a funny thing has happened, since then. So I think it was about a week before the end of the year, maybe 10 days. I'm like, that's going to be my theme. And so I've just every day been thinking about it. And then it came to me, you know what? That's not the theme of the year. That's been the theme of my career. Like that is literally, that's what helped me come across the value proposition that my advice makes a difference. Is that was a strategy to create impact. And I'm obsessed with impact. And then I started having more thinking about it. And I started thinking that all the most badass people that I've ever interviewed, they are obsessed with impact. And it's a theme of, elite performance. So anyways, that's what I'm doing. And then I would I think I'm going to, all my keynotes, last year, I did probably 20 keynote presentations, and I did it on the advice revolution, which was a perfect fit for mortgage coach. But this year I'm putting my keynote together, and I'm actually doing my first one in a week live, and it's going to be obsessed with impact. Like that's my theme. That's the keynote I'm going to do this year. And I would just push everybody to really think about how obsessed are you with impact, or are you kind of burned? Are you not feeling fired up? What's up, Juice? Thanks by the way, Juice is another great example. Anybody that knows Juice Andrew is like, the dude is obsessed with impact.
Yeah, amen. And I I love it, man. Juice, welcome here, Bacon, brother. And dude,
Dude.
so I mean, your obsession with impact, and I love that. And look, there's power in reflection, right? And if you guys are on my keynote from a month ago, I was talking about, we actually find confidence from reflection because our brains recognize, hey, we've been here before. We know an outcome as a result of this. So I'm going to give you confidence to keep going. Right. And so I like that you're looking back and reflecting. And I would encourage everybody to do the same thing because you might realize, you know what? That's where my purpose is coming from. I'm obsessed with impact. Everything leads towards that. And this is why having a theme and establishing your identity within there will work to generate momentum because it's going to help simplify what's going on in our brains. It's going to simplify and create a filter for decision making as we're approaching our myriad of decision makings every single day at all times. And the reasons why, for example, like, all right, New Year's resolution, I'm gonna start going to the gym. It won't work by just saying that because you're gonna get into decision fatigue. And that's why these things fall down, right? So that's why the framework of create your theme, what's your one word, what's your two words, establish your identity. I am healthy. Not I'm going to go to the gym. I am a healthy person. I am obsessed with impact. I innovate through perseverance. So if I'm running my decision making, my brain is going through that filter system. I'm already making the decisions instead of having to make the decision. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, well, good. All right. So theme, word, identity. That's number one. Number two, well, we got to have the actions. So what are your steps forward and toward? What are your actions? Are you identifying what, if I'm a healthy person, okay, well, what makes me a healthy person? Okay, I'm going to eat better. Well, to eat better, what do I need to do? I probably need to learn how to read food labels. Okay, I probably need to get some movement, get some exercise going. Okay, well, when am I going to do that? So we need to identify our steps and our actions. Well, that's pretty obvious. Not good enough. We need to turn our steps and our actions into our routines, our process, right? So the more routine oriented we get, we're creating momentum. Again, our brains are now going into habit mode. If you want to get healthy and exercise is part of that, and you need to do it as part of your morning routine, it might be as simple as I'm just going to put my shoes on. That's going to cue your habit of either going to the gym or going outside or going for a run or whatever the case is. So identify what your actions and your steps are, but you've got to take the next step and turn them into your process and your habit. So one way that you can also do that, so on my website, and we'll put links out here. I have my daily optimization planner, right? I mean, I do it every morning. Here's my copy from this morning, and you get yourself into the optimization zones. But all this is meant to do is to help identify ahead of time, create these habits, and put you into a purposeful optimization zone to then attack those steps and those actions. So that's a lot of information. But the focus is not on the result, the focus is on the action. So Dave, being obsessed with impact or looking at your goals going into this year, and I think a big goal of that, what you and I have talked a lot about, is certainly the First Home IQ.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk a little bit about that and maybe some, what your daily sort of actions or maybe within your week or themes within the week that feeds into getting more ambassadors and helping push First Home IQ?
Yeah. So, I started really thinking about this. I don't know if it was 3 or 5 years ago, but several years ago, I've had a very unique seat on the bus in the mortgage space and been very passionate to build Mortgage Coach, not only for personal financial success, but to change how people get into debt in America. I mean, I've seen firsthand that when a loan officer really gives families, advice and inspiration beyond the transaction, that it's transformational for the consumer, and it's also transformational for the loan officer. And I had said that, when I sell Mortgage Coach and had, an equity event, that I would invest time and money in inspiring and educating Gen Z, basically high school, college age students. And I had that, opportunity in 2021 with Mortgage Coach in 20 or 20 at the end of 2021. But I recently founded a nonprofit called First Home IQ that is obsessed. And actually the tagline is turning loan officers and realtors into the first responders in the financial literacy crisis. And it really is a crisis. Like, not only does this Gen Z have, an affordability challenge, like there is so much either confusing information or misinformation from mainstream media around whether they should buy now. I mean, the New York Times, had their daily blog had a podcast last month, and they were basically just saying, yeah, you should give up, and it's unreachable for most people. And they actually, verbatim said that you're actually wasting more money renting or buying than renting. And they called out paying real estate commissions is wasting money. They called out, home improvements is wasting money. They actually called out that most people get a 20% down, and first of all, most people don't get a 20% down. So there's a tremendous amount of misinformation. And so, I'm very passionate. I have a goal this year of recruiting 1,000 First Home IQ ambassadors to get out there in high schools and colleges and anywhere where there's the next generation and tell them the truth, around home ownership, not rent shaming, but not feeling good about it either. Like let's educate and inspire Gen Z. So anyways, check it out, firsthomeiq.com. At least get on the mailing list, everybody. Check it out.
Yeah. And again, you want to talk about impact? I mean, this is national impact. This isn't just our mortgage business, right? I mean, this is, and there is a crisis out there in the media. We all know, right? I mean, I don't have to go down that rant. I'll just leave it at that. But so I appreciate, and it's an awesome, it's an incredible, nonprofit what you've created there. And so, yeah. So everyone, and for all the loan officers on here or branch managers with your teams, make sure you're guiding people to First Home IQ. And Katrina, maybe you could put the link in the website.
Yeah, and I'll put a link. There's a free test that's just free. It takes 10 minutes, and our goal is to get millions of Gen Z through that simple test. So I'll forward it to you. And if anybody wants to schedule a few minutes with me and have a one-on-one about it, just reach out to Dave at firsthomeiq.com.
So let's rewind this a little bit. All right. So my goal, my New Year's resolution is, all right, I want to be a Mortgage Coach user. I want to be an ambassador for First Home IQ. I want to do more of that. Cool. I am a First Home IQ ambassador. All right. I am going to educate and be a first responder for the Gen Z because the right thing to do. Right? Establish your thing. All right. So now I got to put actions in place. Okay. Well, I need to learn what it is. I need to get up to speed on Mortgage Coach. I need to attend the trainings. I need to do a TCA at every, consultation, right? So these are your different action steps, and put this into your routine, right? Figure out what those objectives are and the routines that helps filter you into becoming and being that first responder, being a Mortgage Coach, not just a loan officer, right? And then we go to our third construct, or our third, we have to define our success to the actions. It's not cool. Yeah, I'll be successful once I'm an ambassador. I'll be successful once I get more loans. I'll be successful once I lose 40 pounds. It's not that. That pursuit of happiness, that pursuit of success tied to a future result is not going to create momentum. We're going to fall off. This is what I want everybody to do. And you guys have heard me say this. I want you to write down your 5 to 10 bullet points in line. I am being successful when. I am being successful when I go to Dave's mastermind every Friday. I am being successful when I attend the Mortgage Coach trainings. And this is really, really critical, because this is going to now tie your brain, your mindset, your definition and feelings of success into your daily actions. The results are going to be now you're an ambassador. Now you're getting more loans. Now you're losing weight. Now you're accomplishing what you want to accomplish. So I know, Dave, you and I've talked about that too. And we shared, I think you were actually the one who recommended the book Gap in the Gain. And this is, a lot of this is in Gap in the Gain, which that is now a top, I would say that's probably a top 5 book, and it's a book I recommend to a lot of people now. So I'd recommend that, to a lot of people out there. But how's that resonate with you?
Yeah, well, first of all, Gap in the Game was my book of the year last year. I first heard it when I interviewed Shant Benoshian, the #1 loan officer in the country in May. And I asked him, what are you doing? And he said, hey, it's May, and I've already had more meetings with realtors than I have in a year ever. And it was May, know, and then he went on to say it's all about mindset, and he's reading that book. And so big fan of that book. My framework to, getting people, and whether it's using Mortgage Coach or, hey, I want to start using my CRM this year, or, hey, I want to start doing more social media. Like you always have something you want to start doing, and you should do it, you'll be better, but you haven't. And so I love your framework. I mean, I have a simple 3-step framework, which, you and I align on, that you're going to love this, but it starts with why, like, and really write down like why, if it's Mortgage Coach, if it's your CRM, if it's social media, whatever it is, write it down, get a couple sentences around it, because I've always found, because now I've converted tens of thousands of loan officers into Mortgage Coaches. And, we almost have 10% of the loan officers in America. Well, no, we have more than 10% of the loan officers, because the numbers have gone down.
Well, and I bet you say the Mortgage Coaches are the ones who are staying in the business.
Yeah, no, actually I have to reanalyze our market share, because I was going to spout off a number that's like 2 years old, and our market share has actually gone up quite a bit. But really write down your why, and then do the actions. The first total cost analysis, or the first video, or the first week of actually using your CRM the way you're supposed to using your CRM, it sucks. It's hard, but I always find, like, in the case of Mortgage Coach, it's like 10 to 15 of those. In the case of a CRM, it's like a month. In the case of social media, it's kind of like Mortgage Coach, 10 to 15 posts. And then, I see a lot of managers on this call, a lot of people that are branch managers, regional leaders, share stories, make sure that you really thoughtfully, when someone on your team is doing the right thing, that you are, and by the way, I see so many managers in the mortgage business, a loan officer will send them an email that's bitching. And if you really read it and you get it all, you're like, oh, that's rad. But then they'll just forward it and go, check this out, everybody, and they won't take the time to like really communicate the story in a easy to skim, easy to read, easy to understand way. But it's why, it's actions, and then it's positive stories. And by the way, it takes more than a week. It takes more than a month. Like the things that are most important, you've got to put systems and processes around, which is something I was reminded around when I interviewed the VP of sales for Daniel Saw's 40 loan officers, who, by the way, check out that interview. We'll put a link down below. They have so much adoption of Mortgage Coach, their CRM, everything that they do, they have incredible adoption. It's because they have, what'd you call it? Routines and habits around how they teach, train, motivate, and hold accountable their loan officers.
I love it. We're definitely speaking the same language, start with your why, make it into a theme, combine that, right? And that's critical. Actions, what are the steps to get there? And then you turn that into your systems and your processes. Another way, and this reminded me, and those that used to work with me over, Clients America, I used to talk a lot about routines and rhythms, right? Sometimes you just got to kind of get your routines and rhythms down. Not everything has to be documented and checklist and, right? Just get your routines and rhythms down, right? This is momentum, right? And then lastly, right, we're defining our success. I am being successful. and positive stories. Like and you were talking about this on the mastermind this morning, and I talked about this in my masterclass. One of the best ways to seal all this in is to then go help somebody else, coach somebody else, teach someone else. If you want to become a mortgage coach expert, start doing it and then try to teach somebody else. And that'll pull a lot of this together. And that's an incredible way to sort of seal that up. And it's going to give you value. It's going to nurture that purpose within you. And you're going to find maybe something comes out in you and helps in that magnetizing that North Star. Now, you also said something else, Dave. In the pursuit of all of this, whatever the goal is, right? We're climbing a mountain. We're motivated, like I said before, right? We're going to start getting up the mountain. It's going to get cold. It's going to kind of suck. It's going to get steeper. Your muscles are going to hurt, right? That's why we don't want decision fatigue. We don't want muscle fatigue. So you might fall down. You might have some self-sabotage. I don't know. All right. Rates have come down a little bit. I'm kind of getting busy over here. I don't need to do this anymore. I don't need to start doing the CRM or whatever, right? That happens. Don't do that. And if you fall down, one step. What's your one step forward and toward? That's it. If you fall down, because you will. If you start going to the gym in January because you're motivated, but then you stop in February because what's your one step? It just might be putting your shoes on in the morning, putting your gym shoes on in the morning, right? Get back into the habit, right? So be paying because you will. Keep going, right? So how's our time here? 12:27. All right, so we're just coming up on the half hour here. I hope that you guys got value from this. I also want to make sure that I'm announcing to you guys that I have just a couple spots left in my masterclass. It's starting this Tuesday. It's an 8-week masterclass. And the reason why it's 8 weeks is because I'm not trying to just give you a shot in the arm and you're off and running. We're going to generate momentum together heading from January into February into the 1st of March, right? So I got a couple seats left. And if you are saying to yourself, you know what? I know I need to be coached. I want to be coached. I got to get better, but I don't really know where to start. This is for you. This is how I've designed the masterclass is for you. It's your success foundations masterclass. It's what you build, then your business plan, then your goals, all of that. It's going to create that foundation in you. And I know a lot of my clients, when I talk to them, this is what they're saying. So I've designed it for that, right? And if you are saying that, but you don't know, I do know specifically, I do want to be more specific in whether you're a branch manager, an originator, or a leader, then obviously private coaching. And it's been really remarkable over the last 6 months. I'm now coaching CEOs, former professional athlete, originators, branch managers, and so on. So it's been just amazing. And I'm really touched. And a lot of you on this call have been supporters. So I appreciate all of you guys. So I want to make sure you guys know that. Couple spots left in the masterclass. It's going to fill up. So make sure you email me. And Katrina, you put in, I think, the link to my, so the link to my, actually, will you put in the events link to my website? So the events page on my website will show you all of this. You can get the Ozone Planner there. You get a link to the masterclass. All the information will be on the events page. So Katrina just put that on there right now. Dave, any last minute parting words?
Yeah, well, a couple of thoughts. So first of all, it give me a reaction if you guys agree with this, that, every year there's new coaches that get into the mortgage space. There's new, coaching companies, new platforms, new people that are, helping the mortgage industry be more successful. And if there was an awards for the best new coach in mortgage, it would be for you, bro. Like first of all, you killed it, let me know if you agree with me with your reactions. We can clearly see people do. And everybody needs a coach. I mean, everybody. I mean, I built Mortgage Coach. I could have named the company Mortgage Planner. I owned mortgageplanner.com. I could have called it Mortgage Advisor. I could have got that domain back then. But I picked Coach because everybody needs a coach to help them make decisions, hold them accountable to decisions. And so, and then the other thing that I think is just so special about you, Craig, is that you really understand the trenches, loan officers, and then you really understand, branch managers, regional leaders. that dichotomy of the street and leadership. So I hope, anybody that, is going to get a coach this year, like this guy is, the hottest new coach in the mortgage and real estate space. And I love the success you're having. I love the impact you're making on the mortgage business, bro. I hope you book out that masterclass.
Awesome, dude. Well,
All right, John Coast just
yeah,
signed up. Let's go.
well,
Oh, he said, I'm glad I joined the call. I got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can join the class, dude. Anyway, dude, that's much love, man. I was actually choked up while you were saying that, so it means a lot to me, man. So, all right, everyone, thanks for being here. Appreciate all of you guys. If you have any questions, you guys know my contact information. You'll be on the website, whatever. Just reach out. Let me know today if you want in on the master class. I can give you more information on it. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Let's go get it.
Let's
Bye, everyone.
have fun football week. NFL's almost over. Let's get it.
Niners in the Super Bowl. And with that, we're out.
Let's go. Niners win the Super Bowl.
All right. Cheers, everyone.